Hey friends, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are in my kitchen and we are going to, cook and wrap up my April stats. I know I've been a little bit MIA, especially in April, but I have had a lot mentally going on and haven't had the wherewithal to actually film. Well, it's not even like I don't want to film, it's I don't want to edit anything. So like I'm fine talking to the camera, but I don't want to edit anything. So we're going to talk April and what I read in April, because I actually did read in April. So let me grab my trash can. Today, while we are doing this, we are going to be, I have a Blue Apron here, which I love Blue Apron so much. I've been using them for like a year and a half, I think. I really enjoy all their food. I have not had anything that I have not enjoyed and loved so much from them. This is not sponsored whatsoever. I just really love Blue Apron. So we are making Italian chicken and vegetable skillet with garlic, herb, Ferrero, and Vieta. So that is what it should look like in the end. If it's actually going to look like that, probably not. It's probably not going to look so good, but let's get that started. I need my pan. So let's talk about these books. So in April, I read 6 books, which is really pretty good, with a total pages of 2,132. That was an average page count per book of 355. And per day, that was 71 pages per day. I had 4 4-star reads, 1 3-star read, and 1 2-star read, making my average rating a 3.5. Not my best reading month, that's for sure, but I'm honestly not surprised. I was only could really listen to books in the month of April, so I was struggling to actually want to physically read. Even though I want to physically read, I can't get myself to physically read. It is quite the strange conundrum that I am in. Okay, I think I got all of my stuff here. What I love about Blue Apron, honestly, is like I want to eat creatively, but like I am not creative when cooking. So I don't know, I wouldn't think of this. I don't even know what half of this shit is, but I still just love it so much. So I like doing that. We need to heat up some water. So let's do that. All right, so let's get that boiling. We need some salt. Salt and pepper here. Where's my pepper? There it is. All right, I'm going to salt that. Boom. Okay, so we got that boiling, medium hot, 3/4 of the way up, salt, covered, heat, blah, blah, blah. Once boiling, add that. And these don't take that long to cook. So anyways, this is just a ginormous sponsorship for something that was not a sponsorship. It's a free sponsorship. Anyways, so meanwhile, blah, 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 half and peel, small, okay. So I'm even going to be cutting and talking to you. So the first book that I need to talk about is Go as a River. I'm not going to know who any of these are by because I don't have any of that information written down, and I haven't had time to take pictures of the books and put them in my journal like I normally like to do. So hopefully I have edited and put pictures up of the books for you. I have got this so stupid. Why did I do it like this? Okay, anyways. Go as a River. So this was about... this is following a woman who lives in Colorado in the 40s, and she falls in love with a Native American man who obviously in this time period would not have been okay. And she ends up getting pregnant, and her, you know, lover, this man, is murdered horrifically. And so she doesn't know what to do. So she ends up running away and giving birth to her child, and then giving her child up and coming back to her family home and trying to live her life the best that she can. By the time she comes back, her family is kind of demolished and it has imploded pretty much in on itself, and they're all either dead or have run off somewhere else. And so she has to take care of the family peach farm and kind of raise it on her own, and kind of come to terms with the fact that, you know, she's given up her child and, you know, dealing with that. And then, you know, later on, trying to find her child and trying to, you know, come to terms with that and know who her child was and is. So this is a very, it wasn't too emotional for me. I could see how it could be extremely emotional for somebody who's ever had to give up a child or has lost a child, either to death or some other sort of scenario in which you could lose a child. So this was a very good book. I really enjoyed how it was written, because it was written very interestingly. Like, it was definitely a single POV, meaning that the side characters almost had no development at all, and there was very little dialogue in this book. Like, even the man that she's in love with, you don't really fall in love with him because you don't really get to know him. Even she is not that descriptive of him. So that was stuff that I found kind of weird. It felt very singular, very isolated, which maybe that was the point that the author was trying to do, was make it very isolated feeling and singular. Because that's definitely how it felt. I truly did really enjoy this. I thought it was written very well. I was very captivated from the moment I started it, and just trying to figure out what was going on. So I would recommend this book if you are into literary fiction, if you are into historical fiction, or you just want to, you know, read kind of a heartbreaking story and kind of a story filled with hope. I would highly recommend this book. I thought it was really great. I did not end up keeping this one. I did put it into a little free library because I figured people in my town, honestly, would be more interested in this one. It does, I think a lot of people would enjoy it. So I did end up giving this one 4 stars. All right, this next one is definitely my worst book of the month. And I understand why people would like this. I just didn't like it because I did not like the twist in it, the twist ending. And that is Last House on Needless Street, by whoever wrote this. Catcher on a Ward, I think, wrote this one. Oh man, I really despised the twist in it. I had a whole vlog where I actually talked about the twist and why I didn't enjoy it. But that vlog got really weirdly corrupted. So I just took it down and have not had the willpower or the desire to go and fix it. So I'm just whatever, it's fine. It's basically spoiling the whole thing, which I'm not going to do that here. I was spoiled for this book before I started it. But I do not think that would have changed my opinion on the matter, because it was what the twist was that made me upset, not necessarily that I knew what the twist was. Because I don't like it being particularly used as a twist. So this is about this girl was kidnapped 11 years ago, and the police investigated many people. They never found her, never found out who did it. And her sister is convinced that this man, who is one of our main characters, is the one who kidnapped her sister. And so she is trying to, basically she's kind of stalking him. Not really stalking him, like it's not like that. Like she's just watching him and trying to figure out, you know, if he still has her sister or if she can find any evidence of that. And so you are also following this man's perspective. He has a daughter who lives with him sometimes, and then he also has a cat who you also get the perspective of. So you get the perspective of the daughter, the man, and the cat, and you're just kind of following his life. This man is a very weird man, I guess you could say, and probably has some weird mental disorders going on with him, that obviously made the police suspicious of him to begin with. So I did find this story to be interesting for the most part the entire time I was reading it. Like I said, even though I knew what the twist was, I was still trying to give it a chance, because I owned the book and then I found out what the twist was, and so, you know, I didn't want to just give up on it immediately. I do think the audiobook was done very fantastically. It is done by 2 different narrators, which I think really heightened the book. And I do think it was written rather well. It's just I did not enjoy the twist. So I just think it's not a very good one. And so I just had to give it 2 stars in the end, is basically what I'm saying here. We have everything chopped up right now, and then we are waiting for this water to boil. But while I am waiting for the water to boil, I'm going to get the chicken ready and cooking. Book that I have to talk about, it was the book club book for my in-person book club this month, and that was The Only One Left by Riley Sager. This is my first ever Riley Sager to read, so that was very interesting. And you know what? I actually really enjoyed it. I was hooked almost from the very start of this. I thought it was extremely captivating from the very beginning, and I did not want to put it down the entire time I was reading it. Now, I'm not sure I enjoyed the entire twist in this one. I don't know if I'm just, like, I'm not like a huge thriller reader. Like, I don't read thrillers all the time. I lost my scissors. I don't read thrillers all the time, so I don't know, you know, like, what all of the tropes are and all that stuff like that. Like, so, you know, maybe if somebody's a seasoned thriller reader, I'm sure they could figure this one out pretty quickly. But I had a theory, which I thought was a pretty good theory, if I do say so myself, and it kind of ended up being right, but not completely. So I'm not like, you know, like, oh, my theory wasn't right, so I didn't like the twist. No, I don't mean that. I just mean, like, I didn't like it completely. But I did greatly enjoy this book the entire time reading it. So, in this one, we are following a girl who has been fired from her job. Well, she was laid off for a while, and she has recently come back to work, but she is put on probably the worst job that she could possibly get. So she is she's not a nurse. I was about to say she's a nurse. She is a caregiver. So she takes care of elderly people as they get older. She makes sure they get their medications, they're bathed, they're, you know, taken care of in their homes. And she is brought to a home where apparently this woman that she is taking care of was accused of murdering her entire family. And so you're trying to figure out throughout reading this if she did kill her whole family. And you're also trying to figure out if our main character may also be guilty of maybe doing something very similar to our older lady. And so our older lady, she is like, she can't speak, nor can she move. She can only move one hand, so she speaks to our main character by typing. And it is a very captivating story, like I said, from beginning to end. I found it extremely interesting. I thought the twists throughout it were very interesting. I thought all the characters were very compelling. All the side characters were extremely interesting to figure out and try to figure out, you know, what they knew and what was going on there. So I really, really enjoyed that the entire time. I did end up giving this book 4 stars. I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to talk about it in book club, which I think is tomorrow. All right, so we are waiting on a few different things over here. We are waiting on this chicken to cook, and this water still to freaking boil, bro. So that's going to take forever, I feel like. So we will just continue on. So the next book that I read was Fevered Star, which is the sequel to Black Sun, which I read earlier this year. And I loved Black Sun so much. I gave that a 5-star. Fevered Star, I gave a 4-star. Not that, I just think Black Sun was just more captivating throughout the entire story. Fevered Star is definitely a middle book, and it is definitely a politically driven book the entire time. I did find that stuff to be fascinating, and I did like the political intrigue of it, definitely because it seemed to expand upon the world a lot more. And you got to learn about each of the different kind of sects of this world, which I did greatly enjoy. I do wish we got more of our Crow God character. I thought he is the character that I am the most interested in all of the time. So hopefully in book 3 we get more of him. But like I said, I did give this 4 stars. I don't really want to talk a whole lot about it because obviously it's a sequel, and I don't want to spoil anything about Black Sun. But I do highly recommend this series, and June can't come fast enough because I need Mirrored Heavens like today, tomorrow at the latest. It's starting to boil a little bit, just a little bit. We haven't gotten complete boilness yet, but we will get there. Oh, I need to get my strainer out. I wish I was nearly as funny as with Sydney is, so that this would be more interesting and entertaining for you people, but I'm not. So we will just continue on while that still is trying so hard to boil. So my next book is kind of one of my palate cleanser books. It's a series that I really greatly enjoy, but it is definitely one that I have to I use as a palate cleanser. And that is Beyond Reach by Karen Slaughter. This is the last book in the Grant County series. I love this series. I love this author so much. I am doing the whole, trying to read everything she's ever written kind of thing going on. And I finally finished the Grant County series, so I can move on to Will Trent, which is really exciting. I really enjoyed Grant County. I really enjoyed this book a lot too. I gave this one 4 stars. I don't really know what to say about it without spoiling it or anything, but I do think, it left off on a sad but good note. I really wasn't expecting the ending that we got at all. I thought that was kind of crazy, but I did really enjoy this one. I thought it did our 3 characters really good. I never once thought that they weren't who they were. So if you're into procedural type, series and you're okay with being quite gory and quite provocative, then I would read Karen Slaughter's books because they're so good. And I know she's like a super hyped author, so like I'm not saying anything people don't already know, but she is just by far one of my favorite authors to read, especially in this type of genre. The last one that I need to talk about, and then once I finish cooking, I'll show you what everything looks like when I'm done cooking, but I just was kind of just doing this because I'm doing this at the same time. So the last one I need to talk about is Everyone Who Can Forgive Me Is Dead, and this is a new 2024 release. I ended up giving this one 3 stars. This is following our main character who doesn't remember her past very well, but when she was in college, she witnessed quite a tragic event. Her friends died, and she's trying to remember what happened in that. And one of the people that was involved in it is making a movie, and she is worried about how she would be portrayed in that movie because she doesn't quite remember everything that happened. I did find our main character a very interesting character to follow, and I quite liked the atmosphere the entire time throughout this book. But the way this was written was extremely annoying because of how unreliable our main character was and how she like didn't remember anything. I found that quite annoying. I felt also that there was no way to guess the twist that happened in this. And the twist was kind of lame, in my opinion. Like, I was just like, it's fine, I don't really care. And I just don't know if it was worth reading it. Now, it's a 292 page book. It's not very long, but I just don't know if it was worth my time either. So it's kind of each their own with this one. I'm sure people will greatly enjoy this. It was just fine. It was just okay for reading it. So I did end up giving this one 3 stars. I read a lot of thrillers this past month just because nothing else was just really captivating me. I was having a hard time staying attached to everything, and so I just had to just read thrillers and just listen to them is mainly what I did. Almost all of these I listened to on audiobook because I just couldn't get my mind to sit down and just physically read a book. So that's everything that I read in the month of April. I will come back and show you guys what this looks like when it's all done, but I am going to focus on this for right now. But in the comments down below, leave some sort of food emoji just to let me know you were here, or let me know what you've been reading in the month of April, and we'll talk soon. Bye. All done. We got the cheese on top. We got some peppers, some spinach, some chicken in there, tomato sauce, some spice. I'm really excited to eat that. So I didn't end up using the Ferrero or whatever this is called. I don't like that kind of grain, so I did just heat up some Uncle Ben's original brown rice and put the garlic butter in there to make that a little bit better. But I'm really excited to eat this. I'm sure it'll be amazing. So yeah, we'll see you guys. We will see you guys later. Remember to subscribe. Bye.